Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
President Donald Trump's youngest brother dead at 71. The commander-in-chief's heartfelt goodbye just days after visiting his sibling in the hospital. Coronavirus-related stress could be hard on your heart. One doctor offers tips to keep your mind off of uncertainty while preventing cardiovascular disease. And graduation season comes to a close. African-American graduates across the state line coming together to celebrate the milestone, how they're preparing for the next steps tonight. Good evening, I'm Hannah Zettl. Thanks for joining us tonight. 2020 has been a whirlwind of a year for students across the state line, and despite a series of challenges, the community has managed to host graduation ceremonies honoring their hard work. Our Michelle Rave has the story of one celebration lifting up a diverse group of grads this weekend.
Sunday was all about 2020 graduates. Conscious Coaching hosted an all-black graduation ceremony for grads of all ages.
It feels amazing to be graduating on this beautiful day and around all these wonderful and great people. It feels great.
Belvedere South Middle School graduate Iman Baumgartner says she's looking forward to what the future holds.
My goals and dreams are to go to Georgia Tech and become a nurse. And I also want to possibly get a scholarship for the volleyball that I have been practicing and doing clubs for years now.
While Haskell Elementary School graduate Nakia Marzette says she has a passion for art and loves playing soccer. She's excited to see what middle school will bring.
I want to see if I can try theater and maybe dance because I'm not that good.
Conscious Coaching founder Antonio Turner says today's event is not about separation. It's about celebrating black education and giving graduates resources to obtain a higher education.
We live in a city where the African American community, we have one of the lowest, if not the lowest, graduation percentage, college completion, and we want to redirect and change that so that our kids begin to attain higher levels in education.
An education resource fair before the graduation ceremony allowed students to seek out information for post-grad life. The Rockford Fire Department was just one of many organizations looking for recruits.
Sometimes you need an extra step. You don't know something, you call somebody who knows. And that's what happens today. They're giving people the resources that they need in order to better themselves in the future. I really wish I had this when I graduated.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
In Rock County, police arrest a man accused of driving drunk and crashing his car. Officers responded to a ditch along the shoulder of Wisconsin Highway 81 for a single car crash last night. That's where they found the driver, Travis Hawkins, hiding in the woods. Police say Hawkins admitted to drinking after showing signs of impairment. Hawkins was arrested for his 5th OWI, cited for driving while revoked, and taken to the Rock County Jail. He's due in court tomorrow. A Beloit Parks and Rec employee was in for a surprise when they spotted a cougar. City officials say the sighting happened yesterday at Big Hill Park in Beloit. The staff member reported the big cat to the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. Animal experts say that while big cat encounters are rare in Wisconsin, if you do see one, you should stand tall, wave your arms in the air, and yell loudly. Never run away or take your eyes off of the cougar. Report all sightings to the DNR. The number of positive COVID-19 cases in Illinois surpasses 206,000. 1,562 new cases reported today brings the state case total to 206,081. 18 additional deaths brings the death toll to 7,744 lives lost across Illinois. State health officials say the 7-day statewide positivity rate now stands at 4.1%. Overnight, nearly 1,600 residents were hospitalized with COVID-19. This was supposed to be the first weekend of the Illinois State Fair. The summer tradition is just another victim of the COVID-19 pandemic. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the Capitol. The fairgrounds, which normally would be packed with thousands of people this time of year, are empty. But that's not the only place losing out on a big chunk of change this week. Tourism in Springfield, which has already been rocked by the virus, is feeling the effects too.
Having the Illinois State Fair this year results in approximately 15,000 overnight room nights being lost from visitors coming in, fair goers, fair vendors, all of those types of things. And that's just hotel rooms. Keep in mind, that's about a $6 million impact to our economy from a tourism standpoint.
The state fair set records in revenue and attendance last year, and the hotel industry in Springfield was expecting a big year for the 2020 season before the pandemic hit. As the COVID-19 pandemic rages on, businesses continue to struggle, people are losing their jobs, and the American unemployment rate remains in double digits. According to a recent study published in the journal Circulation, financial uncertainty could be hard on the heart. A study found that income volatility more than doubles the risk for cardiovascular diseases within the next 10 years. One OSF doctor says the stress of financial insecurity can be detrimental to heart health.
We know that stress and heart disease go, together. People with a lot of stress don't do well as far as, heart health is concerned. They tend to have more risk of coronary artery disease, stroke, hypertension.
Doctors say you can minimize stress during this time by deep breathing, exercising regularly, and eating well-balanced meals. Tomorrow is National Thrift Store Day. To celebrate, Rockford Rescue Mission's thrift store will offer shoppers a 5% discount on a purchase of $25 or more. The secondhand shop says the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in a $300,000 deficit this year. 100% of proceeds made at the Mission's thrift store goes back into the organization. The mission helps homeless individuals and families get back on their feet. COVID-19 protocols will be in place. The thrift store opens at 9 a.m. President Trump's younger brother Robert passed away in New York at the age of 71. Robert Trump was hospitalized in New York, where the president had gone to visit him Friday. The president confirmed his brother's death Saturday with the following statement, quote, "It's with a heavy heart I share that my wonderful brother Robert peacefully passed away tonight. He was not just my brother, he was my best friend. He will be greatly missed, but we will meet again. His memory will live on in my heart forever. Robert, I love you. Rest in peace," end quote. No information on Robert Trump's illness has been released. Tomorrow, the first live-streamed, socially distanced Democratic National Convention kicks off in Milwaukee as President Trump plans to campaign in Minnesota and Wisconsin. In the meantime, the battle over mail-in ballots intensifies as both sides argue the role that the U.S. Postal Service plays in the upcoming election is pivotal. ABC's Megan Trevisan is in San Diego with the latest.
Today, the battle over mail-in voting escalating.
I am deeply, deeply concerned about Trump's effort to undermine American democracy by defunding the Postal Service.
They're trying to change the rules and try to institute something that normally takes 5 to 10 years to put in place and rush it through. And universal mail-in voting has been a disaster.
At the center of the debate, the U.S. Postal Service and Louis DeJoy, a GOP mega donor and the newly appointed Postmaster General. DeJoy's recent restructuring of the post office prompting protests outside his house over the weekend. DeJoy is under fire for cost-cutting measures months before the 2020 election, while states are bracing for a record number of mail-in ballots. The Trump administration warning mail-in voting problems could compromise the vote. But Democrats argue it's necessary in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, and that claims of voter fraud are unsubstantiated.
But there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud.
There's no evidence that there's not either.
President Trump now threatening to cut additional funding the post office says it needs to handle the surge in mail-in ballots.
Universal mail-in voting is going to be catastrophic. It's going to make our country a laughingstock all over the world.
But one of Trump's campaign spokespeople this morning suggesting that funding may happen if Democrats agree to his coronavirus relief bill.
He said, yes, he is willing to make that deal.
But after weeks of negotiations, talks are at a standstill. Megan Trevisan, ABC News, San Diego.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Pretty quiet out there for Sunday afternoon. A live look with our Mercy Skytrack camera out of the Rochelle Airport. Lots of sunshine to be had after a little more cloud cover yesterday and kind of more of a muggy feel. It's been warm this afternoon, but the humidity has been in check. Temperature right now in Rochelle at 83, 85 here in Rockford. Our weather watcher Jim checking in this evening with 84 in Rockford and a dew point temperature of 57. Yesterday, dew point Numbers were in the 60s until that cold front came through, so it felt a little muggy out there. 81 in Freeport, 82 in Monroe, and we're currently at 84 degrees right now in Dixon. We've actually had a bit more dry air come in. If we look at our water vapor imagery, that's that darker color you see here across northern Illinois. This shows us where we've got moisture or lack thereof moisture in the atmosphere. So these brighter colors, the white, the teal, that's where we actually have more moisture. Thunderstorms ongoing across the central and southern plains. So with that drier air coming in, we've actually been able to clear out our skies. However, there's actually a disturbance, this dip in the jet stream. You can see it coming down from Minnesota to Wisconsin. That's actually lining up with a cold front that'll come through, our second cold front coming in, and you'll feel the difference in the temperatures by tomorrow afternoon and Tuesday and Wednesday. Just a few isolated thunderstorms developing along that front north of Green Bay. Not expecting any of that for the night tonight, but as that front sinks a little bit southward, we could actually have an increase in cloud cover, and you see our clouds increasing during the overnight and into the first half of the day tomorrow. With that, we might be able to squeeze out just a little bit of moisture overnight tonight and during the first half of the day on Monday. That could provide us with a sprinkle or a very light shower that would take us through the noon hour tomorrow. This would be fairly scattered, but that is a possibility during the first half of the day tomorrow. And then as that drier air comes in, we'll see our skies begin to clear out as we head towards the late afternoon and evening. High pressure then builds in for Tuesday and Wednesday. This will leave us fairly quiet. A few clouds from time to time, but that dry pattern does continue. Now, we need the rainfall for most of us. There's been some areas over the past week and a half that have picked up 2, 3, 4 inches of rain with some of the really big thunderstorms that have come through. But there's also places that really haven't had a whole lot of rain. And for the month as a whole of August, we're actually running short of that. One area that's really been dealing with the drought and the dry conditions out over the west and the southwest. Big ridge of high pressure setting up throughout the week. So as the jet stream is pushed upwards, it's shifted a little bit southward here across the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast. But that high heat is going to continue fueling the wildfires that have been ongoing in Colorado as well as California. Heat advisories, excessive heat warnings up and down the West Coast, and even red flag warnings for those high fire dangers as temperatures have soared into the 90s and the triple digits out west. And unfortunately, it's just a cycle that continues to feed itself with those drier conditions out there. We'll eventually start to see some of that heat kind of work in our direction towards the latter half of this week. So down to 63 tonight, up to 81 tomorrow afternoon. So just a touch cooler than where we were today. We've got the cloud cover that'll start us off with a couple of nights where we've got those temperatures in the 50s, so comfortable there. Lower 80s through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, warming temperatures up by Friday. Next chance for any more measurable rainfall, Hannah, doesn't look to really arrive until possibly Saturday.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Samantha Rivera.
Well, the Cubs and Brewers wrapped up their 4-game set at Wrigley Field today. Chicago just trying to pick things back up after losing the last 2 nights. Tied at 3 in the top of the 5th here, Orlando Arcia crushes a John Lester pitch for a 2-run homer, and the Brewers would go up 5-3. Same score in the bottom of the 6th. Jason Kipnis smokes the Eric Yardley pitch back up the middle for a 2 RBI single. The game is tied again at 5. Top of the 7th, Ryan Braun connects on the Jason Adam pitch. It's into the gap for an RBI single, and the Brewers going to win this one at 6-5. White Sox tried to avoid a sweep as they wrapped up their 3-game set against the Cardinals today. Check this out in the 5th inning. Yohan Moncada crushes a 3-run home run, but they were not done. Next up is Yasmani Grandal. He also goes deep to make it back-to-back home runs. Then it's Jose Abreu who says, all right, guys, my turn. A 3rd home run in a row. And finally, Eloy Jimenez adds a 4th one, all in the 5th inning, guys. It's the 2nd time the White Sox have done it, and only the 10th time it's happened in MLB history. Chicago goes on to win this one 7-2. The Cardinals will take on the Cubs in a doubleheader on Monday. There is another Chicago team trying to finish the day with a win. The Blackhawks take on the Golden Knights in Game 4, the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. Chicago is hoping to avoid a sweep after falling 2-1 in Game 3 Saturday night. While they didn't come out with the win, head coach Jeremy Colleton appreciated how his guys never gave up and hopes it's a mindset that continues into today's game.
We want to be that team who plays to the end, never quits, and I think we showed character to come back, but in the end, it's a results thing, and we got to find a way to finish it, and so that'll be our focus. Don't quit. Be prepared to battle and put all we have into the game to just win one.
Tonight's Game 4 begins at 5:30. We're less than a month away until the Bears take on the Lions for their first game of the regular season. While the pandemic has certainly given them a number of challenges, wide receiver Anthony Miller believes there's one that every team in the league will share this year.
Like for any team, I think, and Coach says this all the time, is the team who's going to be the healthiest, the team who's going to have all their players available. That team has the best chance to win. And I think we're just so tight on those details around here that we won't have that problem. Hopefully we don't have that problem.
The Bears take on the Lions on September 13th at Ford Field. And how amazing is this? Washington football team's quarterback Alex Smith celebrating with his family after finding out he was cleared for football activity again. Smith suffered a leg injury back in 2018 when he broke his fibula and tibia in a game against Houston, an infection that forced him to undergo 17 surgeries and had doctors fearing for his life. When you hear everything he went through, it's hard to believe he was really out practicing with the team again today. Truly an incredible story of perseverance and hard work paying off.
Don't have to worry about any storms going through the night tonight. We will stay fairly quiet. In fact, just a couple of clouds out there, although could see a few clouds increase as we head into the overnight hours. Temperatures down around 63, so a little warmer than what we've been here the past couple of nights. Now with that, we'll see a few more clouds for the first half of our day on Monday. Not going to completely rule out isolated shower sprinkle during the morning hours on Monday, and then clearing out as we go towards the afternoon. Temperatures up around 81. Cold front coming in, responsible for a few of those showers, but that'll bring our temperatures down. We're back into the 50s for overnight lows the next couple of nights. Drying out Tuesday, Wednesday, low 80s for highs, back up to 83 degrees on Thursday. Friday will be a little warmer, a little more summer-like as we kick off the weekend. Next chance really for any more measurable rainfall coming up on Saturday.
That's all we've got for you. Be sure to wash your hands. We'll see you at 10.